detected.
What's he doing?
Reinforcements are on their way.
Weak points detected.
Sending reinforcements.
Razorback terminal detected. Weak points detected.
Where's it?
Weak points detected. Razorback disabled.
Sir, the Razorback is offline.
That's just fucking great. Impressive work, Andy. I can see why they trusted you to carry out this op. You should come by the plinth so we can have a more personal conversation. You know, the front entrance is inaccessible at the moment, but there's a service entrance around the back. You'll figure it out. All remaining units, initiate a final assault. Deploy everything we have southwest of the monument. Understand?
Copy that, sir.
Inventory.
Deploy the Marauder.
That's our last one, sir.
Just do it!
Marauder class quadcopter. Detected. System malfunctioning.
Sir, we've lost control of the Marauder.
Keener, son of a bitch!
Sir, the Warhounds. They've been hacked.
Do something about it then.
We've tried, sir. Signal's jammed. There's no way to retrieve them.
God damn it!
Sir, we have nothing left to deploy.
I know. Agent, looks like we broke their spirit. And their toys.
Reinforcements from upstate, sir?
No. By the time they arrive, it'll be too late. We're done here. Guess that just leaves us, then, Agent. You know where to find me. I'll be waiting.
You know what I'm
Inventory.
capable of. Still think
Social.
resources is scarce. Mine
Inventory.
are limitless.
Go on. Just a little further.
You got a taste of what the Eclipse is capable of. Chernenko, Vivian, Tarkov, Kachika, and little Theo.
Inventory.
They all have their parts to play. But like any big project, only the director knows how it'll all come together. If you let your working bees think about the big picture, they stop working. The cleaners, the Rikers, whether or not you got enough water bottles to keep the civilians happy. You were so busy and distracted, you missed the big picture. And
Data purge initiated.
If you never take control, you'll never have control. That's the difference between you and me. That's why you're still an agent of the division.
Rogue incinerator turret detected. Rogue assault turret detected. striker drone detected. Rogue airburst seeker mine detected. Rogue stinger hive detected. Sniper turret detected.
What's your objective? What are you doing here? Do you really trust the people you work for? Do you even trust yourself? Who can you trust?
Rogue explosive seeker mine detected. An agent needs assistance.
I'm here. Do it.
Systems rebooted. Initiate final sequence.
Final sequence. I wonder what that means.
System curtailed. System back online.
Inventory. Inventory.
Great. You made it. I was kind of worried you'd miss the grand finale. You earned the right to witness this new beginning. Who knows? Maybe when you see the culmination of my work, you'll understand what I have been trying to accomplish.
Initial launch sequence activated.
Unknown biological compound detected.
You guessed it. There's an Eclipse payload on that missile. Imagine that.
Rogue striker drone detected. Rogue assault turret detected. Rogue sniper turret detected.
You're such a waste of skill and commitment. You could have done wonders, Agent. It's tragic. I don't think you understand. I'm not doing this for me. I'm doing it for everyone. All I ask is for you to open your mind.
Rogue stinger hive detected. Rogue incinerator turret detected.
This payload will push the reset button on the entire city. A fresh start. We share that common goal. I'm just expediting the process.
artillery turret detected. Rogue assault turret detected. Rogue sniper turret detected.
Launch sequence failed.
You useless brainwash puppet. You have no idea what you have just done.
Contaminated area.
Oh, I'm gonna enjoy this.
You ever have a drone on you, Agent?
Rogue bombardier drone detected.
Damn it! That's fine!
Oh, we got him.
Agent, I'm on my way. Go secure Keener. Make sure he doesn't get away. You're done, Keener. Don't try anything.
My time's up.
Wait, what did you do? What did you do, Keener?
You have no idea what's coming.
Rogue agent deceased.
Fuck! Fuck this guy. Come on. Let's get back to Haven.
This one and that one. That's your answer, Fisher. Does anybody want to work with Mercedes knowing that her rate of point of control is fucking so big that we have to go
Hostile
to
radio
Japan, we gotta go have
intercepted.
to bring about our talent to work with on the main roster.
Schaefer, come in.
How exactly
Schaefer?
and Tony Storm both exist on the same show, both claiming to be the alpha of the women. And somehow
Schaefer, do you read?
not interacting. Well, we may be going
Fall
there,
back.
going into all
Keener's dead. But he's activated the network.
What's the damage?
Parnell's watch is collating the data. Looks like it's all of them.
More rogue agents. We fucking need.
No, it's perfect. This will bring the division to its knees. And that's when we'll end them. Once and for all.
I don't know what Mercedes is doing to any of these championships. I don't know what she's doing for the division. I don't know how anybody looks at this as good for the division. Can someone answer me that question? How is this good? How is this creative? How is this benefiting anybody else? Who's gonna stand that excuse? I don't know. Like where is the division? How many times do I need to repeat myself? We talked about this on Revolution Sunday. Look at what Tony did for Mariah. Look at what Tony did for Mariah. Has Mercedes done that for anyone since she's gotten here? The answer is undoubtedly no. So, how could you look at her run as a success for the company and a success for the division? That is what I'm saying. And if you want to take that out of context and make it into something that it absolutely is not, you want to pull me off commentary for a take like that, shame on you. That is a feeling that's not only felt on this show, in this community, but it's felt community-wide in the IWC. Nobody has the balls to answer that question. Nobody has the fucking balls to sit up and ask these questions. I'm Jesse and I do. But yet we're fucking chastised for asking these types of questions. It's fucking garbage. We want better for the division. This is not it. The community has cried, Jesse, for Athena to be on the main roster. Meanwhile, she's like a fucking golden nugget hidden in the depths of the earth on Ring of Honor television that has not been uncovered yet. She's like fucking fossilized fucking gold somewhere in that company. Nobody knows how to find it. All you need to do is have her drop the fucking championship, which she should have did to Billy Starks months ago, at fucking Final Battle, bring her up to the main roster, and have story around her being the one because of the work she's put in to beat Mercedes at All In, being that she's from Houston. And that would be a great story and a great story to tell. Why aren't we building to that? Why haven't we taken the steps to get to that? Why hasn't Athena been on the main roster for years now? What is the problem? I don't get it. I mean, Jamie here is supposedly still having visa. Oh, still. Yeah. Are we wrong to be asking these questions? Are we wrong to critique a scripted television show? Something. Before, they did it with Max. Billy Starks was not put over in this match. I don't give a shit what anybody says. She'll be forgotten about by the time you wake up tomorrow. So they tried to put over Billy, and meanwhile she's done nothing but Ring of Honor. I mean, nobody knows who she is. This is the first time I legitimately watched a full-fledged match of Billy Starks, and she was okay. Obviously, there's still room for improvement, but she came off decent. As far as the match is concerned, we start off with a snapmare into a meteor. I got a quick near fall. Starks fights out of the corner with a tornado DDT. She signaled for a top rope senton. Money bail out of the way. Goes to the outside. Billy met her with a suicide dive and a somersault senton off the second rope. Back inside Starks, up top, hit a top rope flush senton, but Monet is selling some game. She kicks out. Starks wanted a driver, some sort of driver, and Monet escaped into a backstabber. She takes out Starks to the outside. We're going to a commercial break. So we'll pick it up after the commercial break. Monet, she wants the three Migos, which is her signature. Starks counted right at the end into a neck breaker, right across the knee. Crowd behind Billy here, who hit a rolling elbow and a high stack German suplex for 2 count. Monet caught a charging Billy Starks in the corner with a face buster into the butt. Starks avoided the Monet maker. It's a pump knee and a spin kick. But Monet answered with a discus lariat into the double down in what I thought was a decent spot here. Crowd started really getting into it. Billy slid through a backstabber for 2, and they traded near falls until Starks delivered a King Kong dropkick, one of them John Woo dropkicks. So we got a huge move here by Billy in the corner, and then she looked for her driver again. But Monet just barely got her foot on the rope, and she couldn't believe it. Billy. Starks went for a somersault senton off the top of the apron. But Monet moved and Starks crashed and burned on the edge of the ring. Monet pulled her back into the ring. She locked in the statement maker, and she got the tap-out submission. And she did not let go of the submission for several seconds after the bell had already rung. Mercedes retains the TBS championship here against those things. That was it. Yeah, no, it's unbelievable. What a shocker, right? Yeah, what a shocker. We say it every week. What is one of the biggest Achilles heels for AEW? Fucking predictable matches that they book on television every single weekend at every pay-per-view. I mean, really. We need story here, man. We need something to happen that's going to really take Mercedes and the division to the next level. But right now, all I see is Mercedes moving on up and everybody else moving down. It's like Mercedes is, you ever see the Mortal Kombat fucking tower, and you're just moving up to fucking Goro and Shang Tsung. It's like Mercedes is at the top and she's fucking pushing everybody else down. Yeah, I don't even know how to fix this. It's been built so fucking poorly on one side. Bro, it is to a point where, she's holding their secondary women's championship. And if they even want her to sniff the women's championship at some point, They're doing more harm than good right now by holding this title hostage on her. Because if she does eventually drop it, it ain't gonna mean shit to whoever wins it, because there's no fucking story built into anything she does. And then when she eventually goes to the women's championship, it's just gonna be down all over again. So you're basically getting what Mercedes should be doing with the women's championship, but with the secondary championship. You mean to tell me that you got this woman under contract for 3 or 4 more years, and she's not gonna do the same thing with the main women's championship when she wins it eventually?
Yeah.
Who wants to see this?
Yeah, think about that for a second. She's parading around with 4 titles, undefeated record, claiming to be the absolute best. She's the second best in this company. And she's okay with that because she has done nothing to try to become the best. She has all these belts and this win record and everything else. She is the second best. She holds the second top title in the company. She holds the title for like 3 other fucking companies, wherever the fuck they belong. I don't know. And she's not even the best in her own company. And she's not even trying to become the best. She's wasting her time with ROH talent and everything else. So I don't understand what is Mercedes' goal here? What is she trying to do? Because she's the second best champion and she's not as good as she thinks she is. I'm just talking kayfabe.
Everything about this, I can't stand. Everything about this, I just hate. It's just not interesting to me, and it's losing its flavor very quickly. And I already feel bad for Athena because I see where they're going, I know what they're planning, and I don't like it. I don't. And if Athena does win the championship, what does it fucking mean? You cannot drop this championship over Mercedes unless there is at least a 6-month storyline with fucking tension and interest, and it really can build. You're not going to drop the championship, especially after a long reign like this, in fucking 3 or 4 weeks. It's not going to work. Whoever receives that championship after such a short, uninteresting story, it is not going to be put over in the way that they think. Oh, well, Mercedes held the championship for so and so days. If there's no story around it, it means jack shit. I'm telling you this right now. If you're not prepping to take this belt off of this woman with some solid story and meaning and someone that you truly value at the end of the tunnel here, it's not going to mean a fucking thing. You're wasting everybody's time. And nobody understands that because they're all fucking, they all operate with the same brain cell. The best female wrestler in AEW is Tony Storm. Mercedes. Tony Storm. Mercedes. Like money changes everything. I mean, it certainly does.
What must be realized is that it's not about how much money you shell out. It's about how you treat your talent.
Or maybe some people are just more talented than others, and they don't have to fucking go to the lengths that they're going to feel important. But let the work show for it, and let the story speak for itself. I haven't said anything that is even remotely canceled here.
You're not wrong.
Story means everything. Right now, there's none of it. Give it to me, and then we'll talk. MVP and MJF. Their segment was shown last week, ending in MVP's offer to MJF to accept his offer to join up with the Ritz. So we go backstage to MJF, who clearly was not in Omaha, Nebraska tonight. He's here with the beautiful weather here on Long Island, holding his business card. MJF is holding MVP's business card. They said many are placing their bets on who will be the next AEW World Champion. Some think it's Darby Allin, who MJF has beaten twice. Why is Darby Allin being mentioned here when he's not even on TV?
I've not seen that guy. It feels like years.
So was that like a little seed being planted? Do they even know he's going to come back alive as a human being?
Yes, he's been gone.
He may come back as a fucking ice pop. We don't know.
He might not come back.
MJF says he's beaten him twice with a side headlock, which is true. And he could be dead on a mountain somewhere, which is also true. Something Will Ospreay won Jeff beat for the international title. The American title. Was great. I missed that last year. Something you could be Hangman Page. It says there's only one thoroughbred to put your chips on, and you're looking at. Looking at the business card. He's got this card in his hand. Jesse says he's thinking the title is held by Dictator John, who has an army surrounding him, so maybe he needs a clique of his own. But the last time he trusted anyone, he got burned, so MVP will have his answer next week. MVP said the time for daddy crying over spilled milk is over, and it's about time again to pop some champagne. Now, remember, Jesse, when I had said for weeks that I thought that because they dropped Swerve in the Hudson, or Swerve and Bobby Lashley, to move Swerve onto Ricochet, that they would eventually come back to it, and Swerve would go and line with the Hurt Business or the Hurt Syndicate to battle the Death Riders, which I thought was a natural progression of things. So, find some commonality in a former enemy, and you do business with them to battle for the right of AEW, maybe save AEW from John Moxley and the Death Riders. Now that Swerve is not in that picture, and he's going in for the World Championship, now we get MJF supposedly aligning himself with the Hurt Syndicate. Are we looking at a spot where we see what I mentioned with Swerve given to MJF, where MJF now does business with the Hurt Syndicate to ultimately battle Hangman Page, only for Adam Page to go and get his own syndicate by bringing his friends back in the Elites, and then it's the Hurt Syndicate versus the Elites in some faction warfare here on AEW Dynamite, where we get MJF and Adam Page continuing their story.
Sure.
If that sounds interesting at all to anybody, I mean, you might have a few screws loose. I don't know.
These guys,
Let me know if you need anything.
I think if they bring the Elite back in any capacity, I think the ratings will sink to the 400,000.
That's such a shit.
We asked where the Young Bucks are, not because we won last week. We asked this. We didn't ask about their whereabouts. We didn't ask where they were last week because we wanted them back on the show. We wanted to ask where their whereabouts are and what their status is because this is their company. And seemingly, Tony Khan is running the company into the ground, and they don't seemingly care. That's the reason why we brought it to everybody's attention, raise awareness for this.
I was thinking about it because interest in the tag division that seemed as long back.
Well, Jesse, being that there is no tag team division right now, and the biggest tag team that you got there is either the Murder Machines or Top Flight or whatever fucking Leo Rush's tag team names is. I don't know.
Crew.
Sure. Whatever, the Crew. Sure. With their Super Mario Brothers Koopa Troopa jackets. I don't really see another team but the Young Bucks, Jesse, coming back and maybe beating the Hurt Syndicate for the tag team. Imagine Bobby Lashley, man, putting over the Young Bucks, man. Can you believe that?
I as well. Everything else is going south. I mean, just bury the Hurt Syndicate.
Can anybody truly envision what I just mentioned, Nick? Can anybody see that playing out in real life? Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin losing to Matt and Nick Jackson. Can you believe that? Oh my god, man. Dude, they want to fucking kill all of their fan base and have the ratings dip to 200,000 on Wednesdays. By all means, please, go and book some fucking mid-level garbage like that, man. How is that even remotely believable? How would anybody even believe it?
I don't know
Oh
if they
my
have
god, man.
I don't know if they have planned for these coming back, but they better be some fucking Martin Scorsese's fucking style fucking writing because they are so fucking nobody gives a shit about them right now. And it seems like they don't give a shit, so I mean, bro,
I don't know. But MJF and the Hurt Syndicate, you'll get your answer next week. I don't give a shit what MJF does, honestly. I just want to see him in the mix for the World Championship. It's been a fucking shit show, and you got to get your players in the mix there. You got such a great top of the card, and Moxley's the one holding the championship. We don't have a fucking world championship on TV since October. He's got to get back there by any means. If he lines himself with Artisan to get fine. If he continues to see the page, fine. But the Bucks getting involved and this leading to the Elite versus the Hurt Syndicate and MJF, because MJF and Adam Page are on separate sides. I mean, oh my God, man, you're really gonna be testing my patience at that point. And I don't want to feel that way in regards to anything MJF and Adam Page. But I feel like that's what they're doing. By the way, Hangman, I don't know what he did to his hair and what style of hair he is now walking with, but he looks like a middle-aged Karen who walks into Starbucks and orders a grande almond milk latte with 3 pumps of vanilla at 165 degrees because she can't drink it scalding hot. Did you see his hairstyle? I think he looks ridiculous. Well, we complained when Warlock cut his hair off. Why is this not a problem?
I think that was a little bit different because they cut his hair off in the storyline, and that made no sense.
He looks less intimidating, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Speaking of less intimidating, John Moxley and Adam Copeland street fight for the AEW World Championship. This was not the no, this happened at the 9 o'clock hour because Tony Khan pretended to listen to the audience when everybody said that it should have main evented Revolution, but he then switched up this show and put this on in the middle of the show when he should have did this on Revolution Sunday. Thanks for not listening to the audience, Tony, or pretending to listen, and you still fucked it up anyway. This was... listen. This was better than the pay-per-view match, that's all I'll say. Was it more entertaining than Revolution? Sure. Yes, it did. This is what we talked about in the beginning of the show. Whatever this match devolved into is what we should have got at the pay-per-view. After the pay-per-view, we shouldn't have got the second match. That was it. They should have ended at the pay-per-view, and we should have moved on to whatever happens next. But here we are. This match, I don't know what the logic is there with everybody that works there and the people that piece this show together on a weekly basis. The company, and it happens all across the pay-per-view as well. And it needs to be
Inventory,
addressed.
apparel, news,
They feel
social.
like they need to go and do all of the sick,
You have left.
demented, sadistic, fucking indie-rific mud show spots to try and get a reaction. Meanwhile, if you just told a proper story and gave reason for people to care, the pop would come because the story is good, not because you are going out of your way to get a pop. Everything should happen in storyline, and everything that happens in storyline is the reason you should be getting the pop and getting the excitement, getting the reaction. I don't understand how anybody watches this shit and thinks whatever happened with this spike back tonight is what we need for AEW. I don't know how, if you're Warner Brothers Discovery, you're looking at this spot and thinking this show, but this is what we're paying for. This is fucking embarrassing.
Remember back in the end, and you had outsiders watching. I don't mean just in WWE, same time, like in the 90s of pro wrestling. And outsiders turning and see something in pro wrestling. Oh, this is deplorable. Violence. Those are the modern day heroes. They complain, and us wrestling fans couldn't stand it. Oh man, you gotta be a fan to understand. It's for us. You. I don't understand how modern day wrestling Karens are wrestling fans. All of a sudden, wrestling's too violent. I mean, I'm not too adult. I can think about it. Just tell me a good story. It's a cage match. It was blood. I don't give a shit, man. I don't give a shit. If I think it's too much for kids, I'm letting my kids watch it. But I mean, me personally, as an adult wrestling fan, I don't care about violence in pro wrestling. Alright? That's like complaining about too much speed in a race. Alright? It happens. So I don't care. It just means it's not like the other place. ECW had violence in every goddamn show. But they weren't like WWE. Why? It's different products, not the same. GCW has violence in every show. Different product, not the same product. So we have AEW. This is a product that gives us a lot more physical violence, blood, this, that. They give it to us more than other fucking promotions. That's what they do. I mean, I'm not gonna. I feel like literally the Karens, the '90s, like that's too much. You can't have that much blood. In fact, I feel like if they had done people would complain about that. They never had any blood ever. Pro wrestling. They're supposed to get violence. If you sit there and hug each other, this is a big problem. Just people beat each other with bats and spikes. It fucking happens. It happens. It happens too much. You have a fucking meter of how much you want it to happen. It happens. This is what part of the thing is. Same as ECW. They have violence. They give us weapons. Some dudes, they hit themselves in the head with cans and fucking and sticks. That's their identity. That's how they pro wrestling. Now, you do it in medical promotion. If you watch WWE, you do it like that over there. Different. You know, but I complain about the storytelling because they need to improve tenfold. I'm gonna complain about violence and this shit.
I don't care about the violence. If there was story behind the violence, then I wouldn't care about the violence. The violence happens on this show for the sake of doing violence because they don't know any other way to pop the crowd. They are incapable of telling stories. That's the problem. You know, I don't want to use him in context here, but I am because it makes sense into where I want to go as far as giving you guys the reason why I feel the way that I do. Jesse might not like him. I am very fond of him. Drew McIntyre and CM Punk had the best feud of 2024. Sure, it was over a fucking friendship bracelet or whatever was made for CM Punk. It was turned into a storyline, and they went through the gauntlet of matches. There was a fucking four corners match or a strap match. They went and did the Bret Hart Undertaker spot from the '97 SummerSlam, and then they evolved into a Hell in a Cell match where it got a little bit more personal, a little bit more violent, and it all happened and culminated inside Hell in a Cell. Can you imagine Punk and McIntyre going on WWE Monday Night Raw in the summer of '24 in front of how many people did AEW have tonight? 2,100 people from the Liberty First Credit Union Arena in Omaha, Nebraska. Can you imagine them doing a spot like this tonight and having the fucking spiked baseball bat sticking out of McIntyre's flesh to a point where you felt like, and if you watch the show, you would know what I'm saying. If you pulled that off of Moxley's back, it would have been a scene out of The Walking fucking Dead. I don't understand how people in this company think that this is the proper way to generate a reaction. It's fucking pathetic. It is fucking sad. Let me finish. This should happen never. Number one, because it was fucking completely obscene. I don't care about it because I grew up watching
Agent
this.
in need of
I know what
backup.
violence is. I like good violence. But there's a time and a
Inventory.
place for it. You did this to generate a reaction because two things. One, these guys weren't allowed to do it at the pay-per-view because you had fucking 4 other spots on that show that generated blood and buckets of blood being spilled. Number two, they weren't allowed to do it again because if they did it, it would have outshadowed. So they went to the lowest hanging fruit and they got a reaction by doing that spot. Can you imagine if Punk and McIntyre did that, Jesse? They
Time
saved
to
all
take
of that
down
fucking
Vivian
big
Conley and
inside
hopefully
of the
get us
cell.
one
We
step
still
closer
didn't
to
get
finding
anything
that
as
son of a
successful
bitch
we got
cleaner.
tonight.
We know that
But
patrols of
everything
cleaners
that
regularly head
evolved
out to
into
the
that
west
match,
gate of their
it
oil
mattered
refinery.
because
Let's
they
exploit
didn't
that
do this fucking
opportunity and
moldy
infiltrate their
garbage
complex.
on a
A
random
lot of
Monday
peacekeepers are
night
dead
run
because
2000
Keena's been using
They
Conley.
saved it when
Find
it
her
mattered
and
most.
make it
This is
count.
trash. I will always think this is trash because
You
there's no
have left the
fucking
group.
story for it, and there's no story behind it. I'm sorry. I don't think that they
Inventory. Social.
it's not a very
gave us no violence or a bunch of violence. He still need more storytelling. I'm not gonna sit here and say it was bad because there was too much violence. You feel the pain time of this. Well, rest of the show. Okay, McIntyre didn't do it.
All right, you want I'm not finished. Yeah.
WWE didn't do it that way because it's not WWE style. You don't need to do what the one thing I do like that about AEW that they don't do, but they used to. They didn't try to do what WWE does. They do what they do, and it comes out different when it's a different format. You gotta
Inventory.
do what they do the pinnacle that you should be doing.
Jesse, it's not working.
Let them do what they do. Let us decide what's working and what's not working.
Jesse, it's not working. The ratings are plummeting. It's not working.
Storytelling is poor. It's poor.
That's the point I'm trying to make. There's no story. If the story mattered, this spot wouldn't have been a bigger deal.
If the storytelling was great, this would still be too much violence. Because people don't like the violence. Don't like the violence.
You want a better example? Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens in the Elimination Chamber was just as every bit as violent as this match was, minus the spike spot, because they didn't have to go that route. But they were violent, and they didn't bleed. Kevin Owens had fucking barbed wire to his face, and they didn't use blood. And apparently it was real barbed wire because one of them requested it per sap. They did not bleed. You know what they did? They didn't allow those guys to bleed, but they saved it for Cody Rhodes and the end of the show and the heel turn for John Cena because they felt the blood in that spot would mean more to the overall factor of it meaning something instead of giving it to Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, because if they did, Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens give the blood spot to them, it wouldn't have meant as much to Cody Rhodes bleeding at the end of the show. Everything has a fucking meaning. There's a time and place for everything. This shit is fucking embarrassing. That's what I'm saying. They don't know when to do it and when not to do it. They can't get it going. No, I want them to make logical sense. To use things when it matters most. Instead of using it like it's fucking... Like I go to the sink and grab a fucking a glass of cold water. Every fucking week it's the same thing.
That's right. But people like WWE
Well, who do you want me to compare them to? GC Elliott? They are being their own company and they're failing. They need better creative. They have better creative. They can be like WWE.
I just don't care. They need more creative. If they had better creative, it would still be. You don't need much violence to people who don't like violence.
You don't care about the violence in the way that had no context to even happen?
You know what I just said? If they had fantastic storytelling, they would still be on the hook for too much violence in the spot that they just gave us tonight.
And
It's the too much violence. It's the too much violence aspect that people have the issue with. But it's pointless.
yeah, but the thing is, if there was story and we got too much violence, I don't think me and you would not be complaining about too much violence because the story would matter. There's no story here.
I'm not complaining.
I'm complaining about too much violence because there's no story. I don't give a fuck about the violence. I want the violence to matter. That's what I mean. I want there to be story so the violence matters. I care about the violence. I care about it.
Good story. There's no violence in the
Bro, look at the examples I just... What is it? When you're not the other, I gave you two examples of why violence in context, when it matters, is important. Well, what more do you want me to do? Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens? I mean, you can't get more equal than Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. Did you see the match they had at the Elimination Chamber? They wrestled a Ring of Honor style match. Rosie won. They absolutely do.
Inventory.
In this context, they do. Well, that's why AEW was fair. You're getting wrong.
Serious trauma.
swerving and Paige. I did not. We got bricks. We got fucking short
Inventory.
wood off of a house. We got syringes. I didn't care about any of it. You know what? It doesn't fucking matter because the story was there. There's no story here. There's no story here.
There's been no story.
That's what I'm talking about. That's the point of the plan.
Yeah, no, they need better story. They need more story. People want to see.
We are.
They need fucking better creative all around. Violence or no violence, ton of violence or zero violence, the creative is still bad. Either way, remove the violence from the whole situation, and it's still bad. So it's not like it's bad because there's violence. We need the violence. Violence is not the problem. The lack of creative is the problem. It's not that there's too much violence.
All I'm saying is they need to put more emphasis on telling the stories to get a reaction instead of resorting to this fucking GCW fucking garbage that Moxley seems to just want to bring to AEW. We don't need this. We don't need any of this at all. I don't know why this spot was necessary tonight. You cheapen. Imagine Colton needing to resort to this. Imagine 53 years old, like however old he is. This is the type of fucking match we're getting. He doesn't need to do this shit. Adam Copeland is so rich in story that he can go out there and tell a great story. He doesn't need to do this fucking hokey garbage. That's what you do to get a reaction out of the fan. Let's stick fucking spikes and railroad spikes in Moxley's back and almost pull his flesh off the bone. That's what you want to do instead of telling proper story to get a reaction. You want to do that instead.
I don't think they did it in lieu of good storytelling. They just never looked at good storytelling regardless. Because we see that consistently throughout the fucking programs. But the fact that there's violence there, it's not like they focus on violence in lieu of good storytelling. They don't have good storytelling. Not at all. I mean, whatever element you add in instead of violence, they still need good storytelling regardless. The violence is a non-factor as to why it's not succeeding. That's what I don't think you understand. They're not failing because it's too much violence. It's there. It's not helping.
Well, it's certainly not helping. Yes.
No. It is not helping. It is not helping. Absolutely. It's not the reason students suffer. It's not the reason crime. There's violence in pro wrestling, but it happens. They're not doing it correctly. Probably not. That's not the reason why it's failing.
We'll pick it up here. Go with a paradigm shift on a Moxley, rather, paradigm shift on the solid opening. Not going to go too much this. The ending of the match everything that happened here is typical under, chairs, fucking spike, down desk, rolling around, back, it's all. So Moxley wanted to villainize Oakland. Was the chair around. Logan recovered, shoved the chair at Moxley's face, and went up into the corner. And he gets a suplex. They showed Prince Nana on the screen backstage watching this match from backstage. You get a forearm battle. Cope delivered a series of lariats, flapjack, and then he goes under the ring's reveal, spike, the nail-covered board. Cope rolled into the ring and was immediately dropped by a Moxley cover. Moxley slid another table into the ring, on top of the one that he had already sitting on the outside. He took time to set it up. Cope grabbed Spike, hit him in the rib with it, before delivering a suplex onto it, which then was the spot that everybody's talking about tonight. Literally stuck in his back, and the fans were losing their mind. If he ain't on this, his skin was coming. Honestly, that's how
Reinforcements en route.
this was. It legitimately looked like fucking Negan swinging Lucille and pulling the skin off of a fucking wall on The Walking Dead. That's exactly what I thought this was going to develop. So Wheeler Yuta hit the ring. He comes out, he takes Cope out with a recycling. Yuta tried getting the board out of Mox's back and initially wouldn't come out, which then let referee Paul Turner stop the match momentarily to get it free. Yuta charged at Cope, but was hit with a pop-up powerbomb through the table that Moxley set up on the outside. All of a sudden, Claudio and Pac made their way out, and they attacked Cope looking for a concerto, but FTR sprinted out from the the back as Cash Wheeler wiped out Claudio with the dive as Dax Hardwood also was there preventing Monster, the pile driver, for attacking Tack outside. Monster helped him in, and they slowly rose to their feet, helping his spear through a table that was set up in the corner in the right. He made the cover, but Marina Shafir returned and broke up the count. This was the first time we've seen her in weeks. Willow ran out and wiped out Shafir with a clothesline and then took her out with the ball off the air. Sammy ran out, he hit a spear, and Nick Wayne flies into Wayne's World. This monster did cover with the ball kicked out. He did Wayne's World on the boat, didn't he? Bulldog Chuck was flied, Colt went out, and Monster was so Colt had all this happen, and he still didn't tap out of that. You can see cruise control everything, so he got there. He's Colt agent
Incapacitated.
unless it is by the sweaty or the hot. So at this point, we see Prince Nana again shown on the screen in the back watching his match. He pulls out his cell phone and makes a phone call to him, assuming it was for Tricky. Whatever was said there, we don't know. Post-match, Willow and Wheeler attempted to help her reach up for Hardwood's hand, and he did not offer his hand to Cole. Instead, he left. Wheeler went to ask what was up. Hardwood shows his partner out of the way and walks up the ramp alone out the edge.
Immediate medical assistance
Willow
needed.
went in the ring to go help Cole up and poked him, and then Willow was there as well, staying open and seeing everything for doing things, gave him a invitation. Olsen. We said about that stop this fight. I don't get why we got no thought why Nick Wayne was blasted by Christian for failing patriarchy by cashing in the contract by making excuses only to then turn around and seemingly feel like he was doing Christian a favor by going out there and trying to get Colt willing to lose the match. So it was no dialogue. He was bullied by Christian one week, only to come out